Greetings folks, and I hope you're all just fine and dandy out there in collecting land. And welcome back to the channel for another 1/6 scale unlicensed figure unboxing and review. And today we are going to be taking a deep dive into Present Toy's take on Doc Holliday, aka Val Kilmer, as he appears in the 1993 movie Tombstone. The review will take the same happy trail as usual, a quick look at the box, then it'll be a dive down onto the table for a look at all the accessories. Then it will be out with the tuberculosis-ridden dentist come gunslinger himself for an up-close look. And then we'll be wrapping the whole thing up with the usual showcase at the end. But as always, before we dive in, shout out some background. Firstly, a massive thank you to everyone who has supported, liked and subscribed to the channel since it first started. And to everyone who's watching who hasn't liked and subscribed yet, come on, join the party. It's cost and pain free, and you'll be helping us to keep doing what we're doing here at Go Figure. And also, you'll not be missing any of the new content that's coming up on the channel. And trust me, there's a lot of it, some of which we'll be listing at the end of the review before we zip over to the showcase. So it's a win-win situation for everyone. So background. Tombstone was released back in 1993, directed by George P. Cosmatos, with a star-studded cast including Kurt Russell, Sam Elliott, Powers Booth, Bill Paxton, to name but a few, and tells the now legendary tale, quite loosely I might add, of the events leading up to the gunfight at the OK Corral between the Earps, the Clantons and the McClurys. Since its release, the movie it's gone on to achieve a cult status amongst Western fans and just movie fans alike. And if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend seeking it out. It's worth the price of admission alone just to see Val Kilmer's marvellous performance as the hard-drinking dental philosopher Doc Holliday. But that's enough of my ramblings. On to the box. It's the usual Present Toys box. It's that shoebox design. We'll stop it from spinning and have a quick look at it. On the front here, you've got Doc Holliday down the side, obviously. Couple of shots from the movie itself of Val Kilmer, and another shot from the movie at the bottom here of the Earps and Doc Holliday. These are photographs of from the movie, not of the figure. It says Present Toys at the bottom, 1/6 scale collectible figure. You've got this sort of old wood style background to the photos, which is continued around the sides, where you've got Present Toys and the company logo. Around the right hand side, same thing again. On the bottom it says Doc Holliday, on the top it says Doc Holliday as well, and around the back you've got all the usual warnings and bits and pieces there. Don't piss this figure off, or it might just make you its Huckleberry. So yeah, that's the box. We'll quickly open it on camera if it wants to cooperate, because a lot of the time these shoe boxes have a tendency to almost vacuum seal themselves, so we'll put the top to one side. What you're greeted with when you take the lid off is the usual foam inlay, and underneath that the figure and the accessories. So yep, there you have it. That's the box. So without further ado, let's dive down onto the table and have a look at all the bits and pieces that come with your Doc Holliday figure. Okay, so here we are down on the table with all the accessories that come with your Present Toys Doc Holliday figure. Not a vast amount to go at here, so this shouldn't take too long. We'll start with the hands as we always do. You know me and my strange 6 scale hand fetish. Vast majority of the hands here are gripping hands. I think there's one more relaxed pair of hands, but yeah, you get 6 hands in total, 3 pairs. We'll grab a couple at random and take a look at the quality here. Those who are not new to Present Toys will know what to expect here. I'm probably going to say this a couple of times during this review, but you know, you've got to keep in mind the price point that Present Toys work to. We're not going to be looking at in art standards, hot toy standards, that kind of thing. But for the price point it comes in at, you know, they do a pretty good job. I've got a lot of time for Present Toys, but yeah, we'll take this one at random. Paint applications are pretty good. Skin texturing's there. There's visible knuckles there. You can see the bone work underneath the skin, and there's some vein work as well. Paint applications are nice to give that tonal change in the skin itself. Creasing's not brilliant, but it's there. There's a sort of vague attempt at fingernails, but it's not really. It's not really. It's a bit half-hearted, but yeah, they're still pretty good hands. Obviously, not the best hands I've ever seen, but by a country mile, not the worst. We'll do the flexibility test. Oh, there are a couple of visible seams there if you look closely, but we'll overlook that. Flexibility test, it's the usual present toy story. You have got a soft to medium, which works for me because that's great for gripping accessories. I don't have to steal the other half's hairdryer or put the kettle on. So yeah, that's one of the more relaxed hands. We'll grab one of the trigger finger hands, and it's the same story here. Same level of paint application and sculpt, pretty good all round. So yeah, the fingernails are a little bit more pronounced on that one for some reason. But yeah, those are the hands, so we'll put those to one side. What else do you get? Let's take a look at the weapons. We'll start with the shotgun. Now, pretty nicely done. This is all one piece of sculpted plastic. There's some wood grain effect on the stock there and underneath the two barrels. There's no cocking action on this. The trigger isn't functional or anything like that, but there's a little bit of weathering on the barrels there. Not an awful lot. Does look a bit straight out of the shop and brand new. Could probably do with some weathering, but overall the sculpting's good and the paint applications are good. There's a cocking action. There's no painted in cartridges or anything like that, but yeah, there's a cocking action there, which is nice to see. So overall, yeah, pretty nicely done. So that's your shotgun. You also comes with his revolver, the silver revolver with the white stock. Relatively simple sculpt, this one. Some nice silver paint applications on the barrel and the chamber. Looks like that is just straight white plastic, or maybe there's a paint application on the handle there, but it's pretty nice. It's not the best 1/6 scale weapon I've ever seen, but it's still pretty good and holds its own. There's a cocking action on here, as you can see, which is very loose, so it keeps falling backwards and forwards. No functioning trigger, but what is surprising on this is there is a revolving chamber, and this section here, if I can bring this into camera, does actually flip open. And I have to be very careful here because I don't want to break this, but as you can see, yeah, that covering section where the shells go into the chamber actually flips open. No bullets inside, but once you've opened that up, the chamber will revolve a little bit, but not too much. But yeah, so nice touch there from Present Toys. So yeah, that's his revolver. And finally, the stand. Now, those people who know Present Toys will recognise this style of stand. It's what comes with just about every Present Toys figure. I am not the biggest fan of these oval plastic bases, reminiscent of early Hot Toys bases, but it is what it is. I tend to use custom stands or diorama stands for my Present Toys figures, but it's nice to see they put a sticker on the front there, and you've got that rather iconic shot that was used on the movie poster of the Earps and Doc Holliday marching towards the OK Corral. So it's nice to see they put that sticker on, but yeah, no feet or anything on there, just black plastic oval, and it comes with the standard issue crotch grabber, as do all Present Toys figures. Simply slots in the back there, and you're good to go. So that's your stand, and that's all the accessories. So without further ado, let's bring out Doc Holliday himself, get him onto this stand, get him onto the turntable, and take a close-up look at him. Okay, so here he is. It's Doc Holliday himself, aka Val Kilmer, onto the stand, onto the turntable, and first impressions. Well, I can't give first impressions, obviously. I mean, as I mentioned at the top there, I've had this figure in the collection since it was released about a year ago, but I can give a latent first impression, shall we say. And yeah, pretty good. The proportions look right, the tailoring looks on point, that head sculpt will come to. I'll say from the get-go here, this figure I don't think is Present Toys' best work. It's not without its faults, but we'll do what we always do. We'll start at the bottom and work our way up. Let's stop him from spinning, get him off this stand, and take a close-up look at him. We'll also bring in some photographs from the movie itself, just to act as a comparison. But yeah, let's start at the bottom, and we'll start with these boots. Now, he's got cowboy boots on, appropriately. Now, there's little or no movement. In fact, there is no movement at all in these boots. I'll try and lift the bottom of these pants up so you can see. He's got a full cowboy boot on, and it literally, well, it's more than a full cowboy boot. This thing actually rides up to about mid-shin section. And there is movement in there, but it's not at the ankle. The movement itself is actually is much further up the leg, so you can get some lateral movement out of this, but there is no forward and backward movement of which to speak. So dynamic posing really is off the cards with this one, unfortunately. But the boots themselves are pretty nicely sculpted, although they could obviously do with some weathering, as could most of the figure, to be honest with you. But moving up to the pants. Now the pants they're a nice material, and that pinstripe is screen accurate. They're well stitched and they're well cut and just really nicely done. The fall of them is pretty much screen accurate as well. We'll check the articulation while we're down here. There's that leg's gone a little bit awry there, and this is the problem you have with that pivot there. There's a pivot at the knee as well, which is interesting to see. But you need to keep in tandem with this foot, otherwise the leg goes all over the show. Interesting choice here from Present Toys, but yeah, you've got a bend there at the knee, which gets you to about, well, it gets you beyond 45 degrees, so you get a decent bend in the knee there. It's not ratcheted, it's just a straight knee joint. It feels like a double bend there, and it's the same with the other leg, obviously. Moving up to the waist, now try and get him a little bit closer into camera here. You've got what looks like a pleather belt around the top of the pants with a plastic buckle. Moving up to the waistcoat, the vest is now the material they've chosen here and the colour looks screen accurate to me. I'll bring some photos in when we get to the head sculpt, but it's pretty accurate, pretty much on point with that sort of lilac colour with that pattern in it. It's got these silver buttons on the front, and you've got the pleather shoulder holster, which once again is screen accurate. It actually carried two guns, and I think he had a double shoulder holster with one here and one here, but the Present Toys have just gone with the one. The material is really nice on this vest. It's got studs. There are snaps there rather than 6-scale buttons, which I prefer, to be honest with you. As long as they don't throw out the line of the clothing, I prefer to have the snaps on there. It's just that much easier. Underneath the jacket, you've got this white cotton shirt with this high butterfly back collar. Once again, screen accurate, as is the cravat with the pin in it. Actually, looking at some stills from the film, it looks like it might have been flat across the top here, but we'll double check that when we bring out the photos. But the materials are really nice. The stitching on the shirt is very good, and it's a nice quality cotton. You could pose this without the jacket. I won't take the jacket off because you can see here that you can see the quality of the stitch work, but the outfit is really nice here. It's got this grey sort of high sheen man-made material on the back there. Yeah, the stitch work, the quality of the materials used on the outfit, really nice. This jacket is a fingerprint magnet, as with most 1/6 scale black suit jackets. It's lined with this sort of polyester stroke nylon, maybe man-made fibre on the inside, but stitch work is nice on the jacket. Once again, screen accurate. You've got those buttons down the front. I don't know whether these are functioning buttons, although the holes are open, so maybe you could do it up, but it's not really something you'd do up because it doesn't reach, and I don't see why you'd want to do that anyway, because I don't think he has the jacket buttoned up that much in the movie. But yeah, stitch work is nice. You've got pockets here which aren't functional, they're sewn up, but yeah, the cut and the tailoring on and the fall of the jacket is very good. Nice materials used again. Those who know Present Toys will know what I mean when I say it's not the best quality material in the world. It's got that feel to it, but it's not the worst. It's got a rigidity to it which sort of it says to me anyway that this is a sort of a medium quality cotton rather than high end, but still it does the job. It looks really nice and it falls really well. The articulation, there's articulation at the waist. Not sure what body Present Toys have used here, but yeah, there's good articulation and twist at the waist there. The actual top of the legs themselves at the hips, you've got a decent amount of articulation there as well, out to the side, forward and backwards. So yeah, that's pretty good. As I mentioned, that shoulder holster is pleather, and it is free floating, but I wouldn't suggest taking that off. Getting that back on might be a bit of an issue. But yeah, overall, the jacket is good, the shirt is very nicely tailored, the vest is well done, and overall, the tailoring on this figure I think is pretty good. So, oh yeah, these are the other hands, by the way. These are the ones that we didn't, we did look at. We looked at all the hands in the accessories section, so yeah. You can futz with this and get this cuff to come down to try and cover that ball joint. But there are some visible joints there. The shirt will come down a certain way, but after that point it's not moving. So it's plagued a little bit with visible wrist joints, but yeah, you can disguise that in the pose. So up to the head sculpt itself. Now, this is interesting. Well, we'll start with the paint applications. The paint applications I think are absolutely on point. They've done a really, really good job here. The skin texturing is very good. I'll try and get this in as close as possible. So yeah, paint applications are nice. It would have maybe it might have been nice to see Present Toys go with a slightly paler complexion for that ill look that he had for a lot of the film. He looks fit well and perfectly healthy here, but yeah, the skin tones themselves are really nice. That moustache and beard are done, and that goatee beard are done really, really well. Paint applications are good, once again screen accurate. The overall sculpt, however, is a little off for me. And I'm going to bring it up again, and I'm going to mention that Present Toys obviously work to a price point. We're not looking at Hot Toys quality here or in art quality, but it's not my personal favourite Present Toys head sculpt. It's not on a par with, say, the Build a Butcher figures that they did and the Daniel Day-Lewis. It's a little off. Not sure what it is. I mean, it's unmistakably Val Kilmer, but yeah, it's 7 out of 10 maybe on the head sculpt there. The eyes are nice and glassy, and I like the expression they've gone for, but yeah, there's something just not quite right there for me. And moving up to the hat now, this is where I really do take issue. This head sculpt, by the way, is one fixed neck head sculpt, goes straight into the body, so you're a little bit limited on the range of movement here. You've got a fairly decent amount, but not a vast amount. But yeah, probably better that they went fixed neck because there's no swappable head here. But yeah, I do take issue with this hat, as I just mentioned. Now, this hat isn't removable. What you've got here is a sort of soft plastic, and it's well, as I mentioned, I've had this figure for a year, and I'll try and get the camera to pick this up. Underneath here, you can see where this is starting to deteriorate. This plastic, it's not brilliant. I would personally, I would like to have seen a removable material hat, and not this sort of cheap plastic. It's got a shine to it and a feel to it that just is a bit on the cheap side, to be honest. And I think the proportions are off. I think probably a good idea at this point is to actually bring in some photos of the man himself. Difficult to find an awful. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stand him up here so we can take a look at the photos, because I want to see the outfit as well. Whoops, there he goes. And that's those interesting joint choices in the legs there. But yeah, I've got a few photos here, and let's just move him to one side. Now we can see I'll bring that one up to start with. Now this is good for the vest. Now if we take a look at the vest there, yes, it's close, but this particular vest here isn't 100% accurate, and it looks like there were more buttons there. And you can also see that it was a double shoulder holster with one slightly lower on the right hand side there. Also, that cravat, as you can see there in the photo, it looks to be straight across the top, whereas here it's got this point to it. So yeah, and that stud that holds the cravat in is underneath the flaps here, where it's actually external there. But we'll go back to a couple more photos, and this is but probably where this hat is actually off proportion. These two shots at the top here, you can see this hat is way bigger. I'm going to try and get his head off to a similar angle there, to that picture on the right hand side. This hat's too big, and yeah, it just the materials used aren't very good. Similar to, I'll see if I can find any more shots here. As I say, not the easiest shots to find here. That's a slightly different outfit he's wearing there in the top photo, but you can see that the hat itself is slightly too big, and I think it's showing too much forehead here as well, to be honest. I think it needed to be a material hat so you could futz it around to get it to the right position. I mean, it's not appalling, but it's not really brilliant. I've got to be honest. I'm not happy with that hat. No, it doesn't work for me, unfortunately. But yeah, there you have it. That is Present Toy's take on Val Kilmer as Doc Holliday. So let's pop him back on the stand and go in for final thoughts on this one. Get him spinning again, get him back in shot. Just alter this camera a little bit so we can get him all in. And as I say, we'll get him spinning again and go in for final thoughts on this particular piece from Present Toys. Now, as I say there, yeah, it's a difficult one, this. It's got some very, very good points. I think the quality of the materials that Present Toys have used in the outfit is very good. On the whole, the screen accuracy is there, I would say 60-70%, with the pants, the jacket, the cravat, the vest. It's sort of there. Screen accuracy is not 100% nailed on. The head sculpt is good and unmistakably Val Kilmer, however, could be better. And I believe this may have been an attempt to redo a Rain Man figure, a custom Rain Man figure that was made a few years ago. And I know that some people take issue with Present Toys for doing this, particularly with Rain Man figures. But even so, the head sculpt is off. Even if it's lifted directly from them or not, it's off as far as I'm concerned. I mean, it's a good representation of Val Kilmer as Doc Holliday, but it is flawed in a lot of areas. And my biggest bugbear, obviously apart from that head sculpt, is that hat. That hat really it lets it down. It could have been so much better just if they had gone with a removable material hat, but this hat looks like what it is, a rather nasty, cheap, inaccurate plastic, which is starting to deteriorate even 12 months down the line, 11 months down the line. It's starting to, you can see that the plastic is starting to fall apart. So yeah, I don't think this is Present Toys' finest hour, and I am a big fan of Present Toys. As I mentioned at the top there, I've got a lot of time for them. I think at the price point and the figures that they produce, on the whole, very good. But yeah, this is not their finest hour. So, the final score. I'm going to give this 7.5. 7.5. The vast majority of those points are going to the quality of materials and the accuracy and the way that the outfit's actually been manufactured. What lets it down, as I say, head sculpt, hat, and screen accuracy not maybe where it should be. But so yeah, there you have it. 7, maybe a 7.5 on a good day. So that is Present Toys' take on Doc Holliday from the movie Tombstone. So what are your thoughts on this piece? Do you have it in your collection? What do you think? Am I getting it completely wrong? Is it a lot better than I'm giving it credit for? Please drop a comment in the comment section below. And what's your take on Present Toys? What's your take on the movie? What's your take on anything? Nothing's off menu. So yeah, drop that comment in the comment section below. I'll be fascinated to hear what you've got to say. So that about wraps it up for this review. I hope it's been useful for you. What's coming up on the channel? So, yeah, in the not too distant future, we've got a raft of Present Toys stuff. We've got Anton Chigurh from No Country for Old Men, the narrator, aka Ed Norton from Fight Club. They're coming in very, very soon. Inner Heart, Robert Pattinson, Bruce Wayne, that's on its way to us, so that'll be going up for review very shortly. In the quarter scale world, we've got the Prime 1 N52 Batman statue. From Premier Toys, got a boatload of things from Premier Toys, from Mad Max Furiosa, from Mad Max Fury Road, the Doof Warrior, we've got Furiosa herself, we've got Dementus. From Caustic Plastic, got a boatload of stuff as well. We've got Chuck Norris, we've got Lon Chaney, we've got Toshiro Mifune. From Susu Toys, we've got the Blade 3 figure. From Hot Toys, Kidpool and the Feral Predator. And yeah, I would continue, but there's a hell of a lot of stuff coming up on the channel, so be sure to hit that like button and subscribe button. And as well, we'll also be doing, I will be torturing myself for your amusement with more episodes of Don't Make Me Choose. There'll be plenty more of those coming up as well. Oh, and also a personal grail of mine. I'm not going to give too much away now, but it's on its way to us as we speak. I have been after this figure for years. It's considered a bit of a classic from a classic film. I'm not, as I say, not going to give too much away, but stay tuned for that. That should be coming up on the channel very soon as well. So all it remains for me to say is a massive thank you for watching. Take care of yourselves. Happy collecting, and it's over to the showcase.